Coming up on the first Sports Extra of the year, it was Lights, Camera, Jackson at Kenan Stadium as the Cardinals ran all over the Heels on Saturday.
But it wasn't all bad, as the national champion men's basketball team put a ring on it at halftime.
And we bring you an update from Carolina's everlasting saga with the NCAA. All that and so much more. Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics, this is Sports Extra.
It's our first show of the year, and you know you missed us. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Bailey Ingalls.
And I'm Peyton Walker. One thing we didn't miss, however, is the football team's underachieving. After a disappointing loss to Cal, the Heels took the field Saturday against a much more formidable opponent, Heisman winner Lamar Jackson and Louisville. It was a big game in Kenan, and the Heels came out firing, with Chaz Surratt completing this touchdown pass to tight end Brandon Fritz. You're going to see it right here in just a moment. This was the Lamar Jackson show, and it was Lamar's show all day long. Jackson threw for almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. There you see him right there. And he ran it in for 3 more, reminding us all of that shiny Heisman trophy. So definitely the Lamar Jackson show. What a performance by him. And while UNC kept it interesting with this Anthony Ratliff-Williams kickoff return touchdown, Jackson was just too much in the 47-35 defeat. The Heels' next play at Old Dominion this coming Saturday.
Saturday's loss to Louisville might have been a downer, but the highlight of the afternoon, a ring ceremony for the national champions. It was a touching halftime ceremony as the 2017 men's basketball national champions took the field, accepting their rings from players from the past 5 national title teams. The newest Sacramento King, Justin Jackson, was all smiles as he received his ring from 2009 NCAA champion and 24 NBA champion Danny Green. 2005 Cousy Award winner Raymond Felton gave the 2017 Most Outstanding Final Four player Joel Berry his and the Most Outstanding Player of the 1982 Final Four and Basketball Hall of Famer James Worthy presented Coach Roy Williams with his 3rd championship ring. Talk about a crowd pleaser.
If Saturday's ceremony reminded us of anything, it's that Carolina basketball is truly generational. Our Michael Coe took a look back at what makes this program so special.
Take courage when the road is long. Don't ever forget that you're never alone. Well, some people say faith is a childish game. They'll play on children like it's Christmas Day. I want you to live forever underneath the sky so blue. I want you to live forever underneath the sky.
Recovered Marvin, he scores!
Wow, I don't know about you, but that was definitely a tearjerker. I have goosebumps from just watching it and can't wait to see what the upcoming season brings. A rough start for the Heels, sitting at 0-2, and here to break down what went wrong, we bring in football analyst Michael Coe. Michael, what's going on with the team this year?
Peyton, this might take a minute. The Heels have a lot to fix if they want to make a bowl game. Let's start with a controversy that has everyone in Chapel Hill talking, the quarterback competition between Chaz Surratt and Brandon Harris. Now, to me, Surratt made himself the clear starter during the Cal game. The redshirt freshman threw for 161 yards, including this touchdown to Thomas Jackson for a decent QBR of 54.6. His competition, Brandon Harris, was somewhat anemic, missing wide open receivers like this one over the middle. His QBR, 8.3. And against Louisville, Surratt was even better, going 12 for 14 with 2 touchdowns, like this one that even fooled our cameras. But Surratt didn't play in the second half, and I suspect he may have taken a seat because of this inexplicable play in which the Heels lose 30 yards. Harris made some nice plays in his stead, throwing for 168 yards and a touchdown, but in my opinion, Surratt should be the starter against Old Dominion Saturday. But perhaps even more puzzling than this team's quarterback situation is its group of running backs. Against Cal, the rushing game was a strength. Michael Carter was a standout with 94 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 8.5 yards per carry. But against Louisville, it was tough sledding. Carter and fellow running back Jordan Brown combined for only 38 rushing yards on the day, forcing Coach Fedora to pass and making play calling predictable. For the Heels to be successful in the future, Carter and Brown both have to show up. But for all this discussion about the offense, it would be foolish to not look at what's left of Carolina's defense. The Heels were expected to lean on upperclassmen like MJ Stewart, but that hasn't worked out so far. The pass defense has given up 756 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2 games. And 393 of those yards came from the arm of Lamar Jackson. The reigning Heisman winner had his way on Saturday with a near-perfect QBR of 95.5. And while big plays from Mike linebacker Andre Smith provide highlights, the junior has to patch up the rush defense. Through 2 games, the Heels have given up 418 yards on the ground. Now, the 47 points given up by Carolina on Saturday were the most under Larry Fedora since the 2016 Russell Athletic Bowl when Baylor scored 49. Since Fedora arrived in Chapel Hill in 2012, the Heels have given up 40 or more 10 times, including an infamous 70 to East Carolina in 2014. Now, UNC has to figure out the issues on D and quickly, as the triple option attack of Georgia Tech looms in 3 weeks, as do matchups with ranked opponents Virginia Tech and Miami. If change doesn't come, Peyton, it could get ugly.
Let's hope it doesn't. Looking short term, how do you see the Heels doing against Old Dominion this week?
You know, Peyton, as bad as Carolina has looked at times through the first 2 weeks, it would be a new low to lose to an FCS squad. I don't think the Heels let that happen, and I project a feel-good win for the Heels in Norfolk.
All right, that's football analyst Michael Coe in studio. Thanks, Michael.
While the football team doesn't look like they'll be hoisting any championships anytime soon, the men's basketball team will hang its 7th national championship banner in the Smith Center at Late Night with Roy in October. But will they all still be there at the beginning of the 2018 season? The long-awaited end of the UNC academic scandal is on the horizon, and here in the studio to give us an idea of what punishments UNC might face is analyst Paul Beam. Paul?
Bailey, UNC officials finally met with NCAA officials in Nashville, Tennessee on August 16th for UNC's NCAA infraction hearing. Head football coach Larry Fedora, along with head men's and women's basketball coaches Roy Williams and Sylvia Hatchell, were in attendance as their programs were specifically mentioned in the NCAA's 3rd notice of allegations to the university back in December of 2016. In that notice, the NCAA charged UNC athletics as a whole with a lack of institutional control, one of the most severe charges in the NCAA's arsenal, and charged the football and men's and women's basketball programs with giving their athletes improper benefits. In response to those allegations, North Carolina officials claimed that the NCAA has no power to punish the athletics department because the infamous paper classes offered by the African American Studies Department were available to all students. The NCAA defines an improper benefit as any special arrangement by an institution employee or a representative of the institution's athletic interest providing a student athlete a benefit that is not generally available to other university students. Based on that definition, it's pretty clear that UNC has a valid gripe with the NCAA's charges. With all of that said, and UNC's hearing in the rear view, let's take a look at a couple of possible scenarios that UNC could be facing in a few months following the NCAA's ruling. I'll start with the worst possible scenario for Carolina athletics, which is the NCAA finds UNC guilty of all charges posed by the third notice of allegations. Possible punishments for this will likely include the loss of scholarships for football and men's and women's basketball and vacating wins from those three programs. That might sound mild, but the scholarship losses will be severe and will likely cripple those three programs for at least a decade. And among the wins that could be vacated are the 2005 and 2009 men's national championships. If this is the ruling the NCAA hands down, then UNC would likely appeal the decision. Now, let's take a look at what I think is probably the best case scenario for UNC and the one that I believe will be what the NCAA decides to hand down. Probably hope for at this point is that the NCAA will throw out the third notice of allegations and go back to the second notice of allegations. Those charges were very lenient and most importantly dropped any mention of the football and men's basketball programs, meaning those programs would probably not receive any penalties from the NCAA. Unfortunately, Tar Heel fans, I wouldn't get my hopes up even if this scenario is what the NCAA ultimately goes with, because UNC remains adamant that the NCAA doesn't have jurisdiction in this case, meaning the university would probably appeal this decision as well. UNC could have easily agreed to the second notice of allegations and taken the lesser punishments back in April of 2016. Instead, the university responded by telling the NCAA that the university had every intention of fighting all charges related to academics. Nobody really has any idea what the NCAA will do, as there's never really been any case like this brought before the governing body. But I think unless the NCAA drops all charges against UNC, the university will more than likely appeal the NCAA's ruling, and the never-ending scandal will continue on into 2018. Bailey?
Hard to believe this scandal has been going on for almost 8 years now. That's Paul Beam in the studio. Thanks, Paul.
Ever think about athletes whose playing days are over and wonder, where are they now? I caught up with Carolina's very own former All-American and NBA player Antoine Jamison to find out what he's been up to. It's no doubt that athletes are stars when they're on the court, but what happens when their playing days are over? Former Tar Heel and pro ball player Antoine Jamison is continuing his love for the game by giving back to the community through a kids' basketball camp.
Anytime I come here for camp or to a basketball game, the juices get flowing again. It brings me back to when I was, 18, 19 years old, having fun with Vince and those guys. So I always enjoy and I always embrace coming back here at Carolina.
And Jamison's All-Star Camp means a lot to the kids as well, especially those who are part of Camp Corral, an organization that provides fun opportunities for children of military families.
We are thrilled with the partnership with Antoine and with Camp Corral and his support to the military and to our children. It really offers an opportunity for these kids to come and do something that they just otherwise wouldn't be able to do.
Zane Wolf, whose father served in the 101st Airborne Division, is particularly grateful to be an All-Star camper.
I haven't had this much fun playing basketball in a while. Having someone in the military, it's kind of a little difficult because when they're over there, they get PTSD, and then it's just a little hard dealing with things.
And that's why Jamison's goal is to equip these kids with more than just basketball skills.
We're going to compete, we're going to play hard, but have fun. We incorporate games, we incorporate fun drills for the campus for the 2 days and things of that nature, and that's what it's all about.
Guest speakers like Joel Berry and Tyler Hansborough also add to the fun.
I think it's a good thing for other people just to reach down to the younger generations, because next thing you know, they'll be the next ones coming up.
Such a sweet story, and definitely a great camp to consider if you know any All-Star kids interested in playing ball and having fun.
Coming up next on Sports Extra,
we show you how the volleyball team killed the game this weekend.
But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
UNC volleyball returned to Carmichael Arena this past weekend following a tough opening to the season. After losing its first 4 matches, the Tar Heels looked to shake off the rough start against LIU Brooklyn in front of the home crowd. An underclassman stepped up to the occasion. Beth Nordhorn had her best game of her young season, finishing with 11 kills. After a close first set, the Heels took control. Reigning ACC Player of the Year Taylor Leaf left her imprint on this one, finishing with a game-high 16 kills. The Blackbirds were no match for UNC as the Heels win in straight sets. The Heels continued their 4-game homestand on Sunday against LSU. The Tigers took the first set 23-25, but here's junior Casey Jacobs with the hustle, setting up Taylor Leaf for a monster kill as the Heels won the second set 25-21. The battle continued into the third set, and once again, Taylor Leaf was there to close out things for the Heels. Her 27 kills were the most by a Tar Heel since 2005. Carolina sealed the win in the fourth set, handing LSU its first loss of the season. The Heels will head back to Carmichael this Friday at 6:30 to take on Loyola Marymount. 2 much-needed wins for the volleyball team, and the excitement around the squad has ramped up again. Volleyball analyst Abby Presley joins us live from Carmichael Arena. Abby, what stood out to you about this weekend?
Bailey, what I saw was a team rejuvenated after a rough opening start. 4 games and 4 losses isn't exactly how a team with national title hopes wants to start. But let's take a look at the schedule. Of Carolina's first 4 opponents, 3 were ranked, and all 3 were in the top 10. Number 4 Minnesota, number 7 Wisconsin, and number 3 Florida. But the Heels were never close to winning against any of those opponents, winning only 1 set in the 4 matches combined. Let's compare that to last year when the Heels won their first 6 matches, including a home victory against those same Wisconsin Badgers. And how about this? The Heels' 4th loss last year was their last loss of the year. A Sweet 16 defeat to UCLA for a final record of 29-4. The key for Carolina to recapture the magic of last year is outside hitter Taylor Leaf. The reigning ACC Player of the Year leads the team in kills this year with an astonishing 78. That's 13 per game, well on pace to beat her total last year of 374, also a team best. So Bailey, although it was a disappointing start to the season, I still think this Heels team has as good a shot as any at making it to Kansas City and winning the program's first national championship.
That's volleyball analyst Abby Presley live at Carmichael Arena. Thanks, Abby.
The women's soccer team traveled up to Happy Valley on Thursday to take on the Penn State Nittany Lions. In the 6th minute, Penn State struck early off a ball straight up the middle of the defense. UNC didn't give up, though, giving plenty of opportunities throughout the game. Bridget Andrzejewski had a few opportunities like this one, but couldn't convert. Although the Heels dominated possession and had plenty of chances, they couldn't get anything in the back of the net. Penn State goes on to win 1-0.
The men's soccer team took a trip to Pittsburgh Saturday night for its first ACC match of the season. Right out of the gate, sophomore forward Jelani Peters breaks through defenders and puts UNC up 1. But Pitt's Edward Kiza had something to say in return. He punches in this point-blank goal to tie it up before halftime. It would remain deadlocked until the 52nd minute when UNC's Cam Lindley intercepts a pass and scorches this one home from way outside the box. Let's see that one more time. That would be the winning goal as UNC takes this one 2-1. Coming up next on Sports Extra,
we show you a UNC team that lately is always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
The fourth-ranked field hockey team traveled to Winston-Salem on Friday to take on the 19th-ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons in the ACC regular season opener. The first half remained locked at 0 until Wake's Nicola Pluta ripped this upper shelf shot into the back of the cage and sent her team into halftime up 1-0. Then midway through the second half, the Deacons doubled up their lead behind this beautiful strike from Carly Spirit that found the bottom left corner. But just 90 seconds later, UNC responded with its first goal of the game off this rebound from Afe Andreessen. However, it just wasn't enough as Wake Forest went on to win the game 3-1. And on Sunday, the Heels took on Appalachian State. Ashley Hoffman got things started early with this goal off an assist from Ava Vantehoog. The defense was stingy all day long, allowing only 6 Mountaineers shots. Meredith Shoulder extended the lead late in the first half with this shot that found the back of the cage. The Heels came out hot in the second half, scoring 4 more goals to seal the victory. The win pushes UNC to 4-2 on the season, with the team's next game against Boston College this Saturday.
The field hockey team is getting a little tired of the bridesmaid label, and Elizabeth Singletary says the Heels plan to do something about it.
UNC field hockey, considered among one of the best programs in the country. However, the team is 0-5 in national championship games since 2010, including losing in the title game in each of the past 2 seasons. But head coach Karen Shelton says that disappointment is in the past.
Well, shucks, it's a new year, so we don't worry about what happened last year or the year before or any other year. It's a new team with a new attitude, new mentality, and we're working to become as good as we can be.
Forward Gab Major is the lone senior on the team this year. 6 players graduated, including the leading goal scorer from last season. But roster changes don't necessarily mean loss of talent.
I mean, it's weird. It's definitely different coming back and not having the girls in my class. But we have a really strong junior class, even freshman class. Everybody on the team is playing a huge role this year.
In addition to a new roster, there's also another major change this year: construction. A brand new field hockey stadium going up means that the team has to practice in the Eddie Smith Fieldhouse and play home games at Duke.
We're like, okay, this can either make or break us. So on the bus rides, it's like a bonding experience. We sing, we dance, we're making the best of it, and I think it actually is a struggle that is making us closer.
The Tar Heels are 6 games into their quest to attain what they've missed out on the past 2 years, a national championship. In Chapel Hill, I'm Elizabeth Singletary reporting.
Carolina has 2 national championships in the 2000s, beating Penn State in 2007 and Maryland in 2009.
Coming up next on Sports Extra.
A local minor league baseball team is feeling a little bullish.
Not pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me
And me.
help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
But you are exactly what I'm looking for. Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Bailey, you a baseball fan?
I love baseball, Peyton, but there's no major league team in the state to cheer for.
Well, you might want to check out the minor league Durham Bulls, who, as Natalie Harden tells us, are making waves in the playoffs.
Get loud! Get proud for your Durham Bulls!
Goodman Field, home of the Durham Bulls, isn't only a baseball field, but a place for fun.
And we plan all the fun at our games. From anything from the walk-up music to the in-game, in-between music to the on-field promotions, whether it's sumo wrestling or racing kids around the bases with Willie Bull. We plan the fun for the Bulls.
According to Inman, the fan is the most important member of the Bulls family.
And it's not just, my boss that I have to report to directly, it's the fans and customer service and making sure our fans have a good time when they come to Bulls games. Making sure that players are interacting with the fans. They're always willing to sign autographs, always willing to, meet with someone in the community. And I think that's what makes AAA and minor league baseball so great. And that's what makes the Durham Bulls so great.
Do it! Yeah, go Bulls, right?
My experience with the Bulls has been fantastic. I've been a season ticket holder for probably over 12 years, and on promotions, they're all always smiling and making sure that the fans are here and having a fantastic time.
The win-loss record isn't nearly as important as the atmosphere fans will experience. In Durham, I'm Natalie Harden reporting.
Peyton, I love Durham Bulls games. I love the knocker balls. I love the between inning shows. I think they're so much fun.
I love baseball, but I've actually never been to a Durham Bulls game. But those fans did look like they're having a great time, so I'll definitely have to make it out to one of those games
My dad used
next
to take
season.
me to them all the time. Really good time.
Oh my goodness, I'll definitely be at one next spring. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Sports Extra.
Thanks for watching.